I didn't check to see if my kitchen was clean. It's a vlog. Been really busy this month. If you follow me on Instagram, you probably already know about some of this, but the big thing is I have been house shopping. One of the biggest motivations is that I have terrible internet. So uploading videos, editing videos, live streaming, all these things that I love doing, I really can't do. Like for the last 2 weeks, I have been without internet on only 50% of the devices in the house. All the other ones can connect, these other half can't. Now, I am debating where I wanna go, what I wanna do, where I wanna live. I love this house. If anybody's looking for a little farm in Georgia, this place might be on the market. Otherwise, I just got back from Pet Fest. I did not take any videos. I have one photo, here you go. Typical me fashion, I was awkward and quiet and didn't bust out my camera or my phone or anything. So if you want to see videos, a lot of the other creators did do what a YouTuber should do because they're better at it than I am, and you can go and watch their videos on it. But it was so much fun. They were all so nice. I was a little nervous going into it, didn't know what to expect, obviously didn't know any of them prior to it. Also, you know, just meeting a bunch of strangers is always, I think, a little intimidating. Speaking on some panels, which honestly, I just don't feel like I am qualified to speak on. I just feel like I always have so much I need to learn about every animal, and I probably will always feel that way, which is why I've talked about how I steer clear of doing a lot of like educational advice giving content here, apart from like the pigs and sometimes dogs, because I just don't feel like I'm in any place. I can share with you my stories, I can share with you what I do, but always take it with a grain of salt. Basically though, I got back from Pet Fest and like binge watched a ton of other pet creator channels. To be honest, I don't watch a whole lot of YouTube, and clearly I've been doing everything wrong after watching these channels. The one thing I definitely noticed, everybody else does a feeding all my pets video. I'm going on like a 1.5 years here and I haven't done anything like that. I've had people ask about it and it seems so daunting a task. That's coming, I am doing it, I'm doing it. Because that's what you should do if you have a pet YouTube channel, apparently. I also was reminded that I'm a terrible YouTuber because not only have I not done and updated Meet All My Pets, I haven't even like done a Meet My New Pets for the pets that I've had for like a year. So just pretend you're not seeing this because I swear I'm gonna do it still. This is a figment of your imagination until you've been formally introduced. How y'all doing, kitties? This is just like a little farm tour. You know, it's nice when I don't mow the grass regularly, I can excuse it by saying I am growing out some of my weeds to feed to my animals because like the tortoise and the rabbit, the dragon, they can all eat like stuff that I forage for. So I'm just growing my pets a salad. I'm not being lazy and neglecting to mow my lawn. Oh, don't burp. What are you doing? Just realized I'm gonna have to move that giant bed. Like I can't leave that. Like I wanna move and I also just really don't wanna move. Me where I get the old windows that I use on a lot of my enclosures, and I have this huge antique mall right down the road from me. So basically I have to wear blinders the entire store until I get to this section. Wow, so they don't actually have as many as they usually do. And I would like to get a couple of them. I'm not seeing the size I wanted. They did not have the windows that I wanted, and I was not tempted. No, I was tempted. I resisted the temptation of going in a single booth. I beelined for the windows. They didn't have what I needed, and I left. Detour. I went to, there's this giant flea market down the road from me, and decided to stop here because I've been trying to get Alun clothes. Out of necessity, not because I'm one of those crazy people, although I kind of am, both because she sunburns and because she gets cold. And since I'm taking her to Michigan with me, I need to find her at least a couple of outfits that will fit her. And I'm hoping there's like a really shady pet area here, lots of like backyard breeders, but there is a little store that also has just a ton of pet clothes and supplies and stuff, and I'm hoping they will have a couple. You're so tiny. What are you doing? I'm really tempted to get this, but I also know that it'll be destroyed in like a day. This is the booth that I'm actually here for. They have a ton of teeny tiny dog things for super expensive, so here we go. I just leave places like that feeling gross and sad. I don't even know if you could tell how small all their cages are. I'm sure they just put them on display in those cages, and I want to say that they probably have bigger enclosures somewhere. Still, they send them home in those cages. I think a lot of owners don't even realize like this isn't appropriate. And then obviously don't get me started on the puppy mill breeding that clearly happens. They sell the birds like for meat, so I don't have a problem with people eating meat. I have a problem with the animals being mistreated before that. I mean, everybody make your own decisions, I guess, but those animals were like disgusting. Like of all the animals I saw, there was one duck that I really wanted to take home with me because he had such bad like burns and his feathers were missing and he was soaking wet, and it was, and this is where I struggle because you don't want to encourage people to continue breeding by increasing the demand by buying the animal. But I don't have a problem again with people who choose to purchase from breeders either, as long as you're finding responsible breeders and not, you know, chain pet stores or places like this where the animals aren't being treated well. While in your head you're saving that individual life, you've just increased the demand, and now they're going to create even more lives to fill the void to sell. So unless you're able to afford to buy every single one of them, it's just a vicious circle. I heard a cockatoo and I want to see it really bad. Hi, baby. What you doing? Ready? You dance again? Ah, yeah, there you go. There you go. Good bird. Oh my God, I'm gonna, I can't. Why do I do this? You taking a bath? Are you taking a bath? Any bird here that spends any length of time in there is going home traumatized. I can't talk about it anymore. They're just so smart. And like that bird remembers its owners and probably wonders what it's doing in there. Okay, I've just got into the grocery store and bought groceries, and I'm like rethinking posting. Oh, nope, that's worse. I'm having second thoughts about posting any of this. This is not my intention. Clearly, I'm a hot mess today, so had no intention of filming anything. And then I did, and then I filmed a lot. Just not really one to like ruffle feathers, I guess. Drama, but also like these particular places have bothered me for a long time. So if you're seeing this, that means that I am being brave and posting it, even at the risk of like, I don't know, upsetting people, I guess. I have a ton of delicious food, all for my sister while I'm gone, and also 500 pounds of animal food, which may sound like a lot to some people, but for me that's like a very normal shopping trip. And now I have to unload all of it and empty it all into feed bins and get it all organized for her. So, and it's like 90 degrees out. So that's my workout. So I've decided to go ahead and upload the footage from the pet stores, which you already know. You're like, duh, because you've already seen it. There are a few really big motivations for me behind this decision. Again, this is not what the vlog was going to be. I was not even going to film anything that day. I was planning on filming a bunch of stuff from my trip to Michigan and just uploading this vlog in like 2 weeks or something. Instead, I'm going to upload it now and just do a separate Michigan vlog. Like a year ago. We're going way back. I went to a large chain pet store and I think I was buying crickets or something. I don't remember. I was standing right next to all their little betta fish things, cups, and noticed that 3 of them were dead. Just floating front and center, floating dead. So it had been left unnoticed, I mean, for a while. And the ones that were still alive were in horrific condition. But it's always kind of, I still have the footage somewhere. Maybe I'll try to find it. But I've always sort of regretted not calling them out on it. Pet stores, even within the same chain, have different management teams, and I'm sure some of them are run a lot better than others. And then these pet stores that I'm sharing in this video, pet stores, I don't even know if that's what they are, but it was probably a year ago, and again, I might have footage of it. I know I have at least like screenshots of conversations I had with my mom and my sister about it because I was absolutely horrified and furious. They were selling mini pigs, and I kind of lingered to listen to the employees try to encourage shoppers to buy them, people who clearly had no knowledge of pigs whatsoever. And these piglets were, I don't even think they were 4 weeks old. They were infants, and they were very sick. The smell of their liquid diarrhea, and it was like a yellowy, horrible stool, which generally is E. coli, or at least something very similar and very dangerous, life-threatening. It was all over their pen. It smelled horrible. These pigs were not in good shape, and the store owner was claiming they were 8 weeks old, eating pellets, totally healthy, super easy pet, and these unsuspecting people, which granted, in any of these situations, you can't entirely blame the pet stores, you know, selling the rabbits and the hamsters in those microscopic cages. Obviously, any shopper should, number one, not impulse buy, but also if they do, should do a ton of research and know pretty much right away that those habitats are not adequate for the animals to live in. I'm sure that's the argument that these salespeople would make, that, you know, it's not their responsibility, it's the person taking home this pet. But it just is very deceptive and makes people think that these are going to be a lot easier animals than they are, and that their needs are a lot smaller than they are. I got home and looked up this pet store, and I'm not going to put the name of it or anything like that. So many people left reviews about how they bought a mini pig there and it died. Took it to the vet, it was super sick, it died. So all of my fears We're completely confirmed. And I just went there because there's a store that is not affiliated with them, but happens to be in the same area that, yeah, I knew had a bunch of small dog clothes and she really needs them. And so walking through that area, I guess one thing led to another and here we are. So this vlog is not as lighthearted and fun as I expected it was going to be. We're gonna throw in some cute footage of my own animals now to make it a little more fun. It's hard to not want to save them all when you see them in these conditions. They're just gonna breed more, they're gonna create more lives. The parents of the pets that you take are going to suffer more, be bred more. Big picture, to really make an impact and change this, we have to lower the demand and stop giving them a profit for doing these kinds of things. This is gonna be a whole video at some point, but my quick 2 cents. Bye guys! Come on